In this video, we are going to discuss plot settings. Every plot has a number of settings available. Some settings are plot specific, so only appear on specific plots, and other settings are global and are available for all plots. We'll go ahead and start with the settings that are available for all plots. I am going to create a Campbell diagram. So click and drag onto here. I'm using N1 as my reference parameter. Once the plot is created, you can access the plot settings menu through the right-click menu. So if I right-click on the plot, this resulting menu will appear, and I can click Plot Options. You can also open plot options using these little buttons here in the ribbon, and it will open the associated setting for these quick settings. And we'll discuss that more in just a second. The first general settings area that I want to talk about is General, aptly named, where you have things like font settings to change the font size on plots, axis settings, things like that. On certain plots, you can swap the X and the Y axes. A Campbell diagram is not available to do this. And you can also change the title here. Clicking out of the box will set that change. And then you also have legend settings. Legends are the plot information that is included in the top right of the plot. So here I can click external, and you can see that that moved the legend down into the bottom of the plot, and I can select where I would like to put it, etc. I'm going to leave that one as default for now. The next settings area that we have is the axes settings. Also pretty self-explanatory. You can set specific axes here. So let's say I wanted this plot to start at 2000 on the x-axis. I just type 2000 in here and set like that. And you can see that the plot updates again as soon as I click out of one of those text boxes. Y-axis settings the same, and Y2 axis settings. You can set default scaling options here for all of these different plot options. You can change your mappings from linear to log on specific plot types, etc. And the final area that we have here is traces. When you are doing a overlay, multiple traces will appear here. So let me demonstrate that with something like an envelope plot. So I'm going to delete my Campbell diagram, and I'm going to simply create an envelope plot, and I'll drag a second channel on there so that we can see an overlay. Now in my traces, I can select either of these. And in traces, you are also able to change all kinds of things about the way that the plot is represented. So I can change the trace color to something different, like this orange, for instance. Here, that will change that. I can also set a fill. Right now, fill is set to off. Fill style here, none. So I can change this to a linear gradient, for instance, or I can change it to a cross pattern. And you can see here that the fill is the color that is filling this gradient, just like that. Again, there are a number of different options here. Also, legend settings. These have a number of key value pairs that change the information that is listed in the legend. These can be set as default. So for instance, if I wanted to have the FFT bin size shown here, I can do percent FFT bin size percent. And now you can see that 19.5313 has appeared here on my legend settings. And I can always set that to default as well. It's worth noting as well that plain text can be added in here, and that will also appear in the legend. Finally, we have overlays. We'll discuss overlays in another video, but these include things like automatic response detections. If you add those onto any plot, they'll appear as an overlay, and those can be toggled on or off in the settings here. Finally, we have the plot settings for specific plot types. Envelope plots have these specific plot types. You can change magnitude to power density, for instance, turn on a dB display, and have generally plenty of options there. So yeah, dig into these different plot settings and find what you're looking for.